Claude Monet. Many people have heard the name, seen some of the artwork that he's produced, like the beautiful The Water Lily Pond and the art series depicting haystacks, which he painted again and again and again. Trust me, it never ends. But not many know the painting that started it all. It was this one, Impression-Sunrise, one of the most revolutionary paintings that forever changed the French art scene and created a whole art movement. Let's look deeper into this painting first and see what made it so different. If there's anything striking about this painting, it's the colors that Monet uses and the way he applied the paint to the canvas. Just look at the sky in this painting. None of the brushstrokes are certain or even carefully placed on the canvas. They're short, abrupt, powerful, and lend the painting a certain sketch-like quality. They give the impression of shape and form, without explicitly demonstrating them, and cause the painting to feel so dynamic and so passionate. If we look at this section of the painting here, zoom in even further, it's like you can almost see exactly how the bristles of the brush applied the paint to the canvas, and the dynamic brushstrokes that Monet used to create this impression of the sky. Panning over to the other side of the painting, it soon becomes clear that this painting is much more about color and feeling, rather than explicitly outlining a subject or accurately depicting something. You can only see the wisps of color of that orange and blue, and yet that's all you need to know that this is a sky with the rising sun. Moving down to the sea, notice the 3 boats floating across the water. The third hardly looks like a boat at all, more similar to a dark blue shadow than anything else. Instead of clearly depicting this boat, it feels like Monet is asking you, the viewer, to fill in the gaps and create the subject of this painting rather than himself. Isn't that a beautiful thing? That everyone shapes and molds this painting according to what they notice and see? And don't even get me started on the colors of this painting. That beautiful, vibrant orange of the sun that just feels so warm and comforting, contrasting with those murky blues and turquoises of the rest of the painting. That's the thing with this painting. You feel the colors, instead of just seeing them as tools to accurately depict a picture. The colors are more the subject themselves than the boats or the sun or anything else here that Monet painted. All of these things, all of the passion, color, and techniques that Monet used to make this painting are ultimately the things that ostracized him from the art community. At the time in France, there was one organization that had all the authority over what the best artwork was, the Salon. Created by Louis XIV, the Salon was meant to select and determine the pieces of art worthy of being displayed. If your artwork was chosen, you were immediately launched to fame and cemented into the art world. Exclusion from the Salon, on the other hand, meant being rejected as an artist. One artist, Jules Hautsupfel, even committed suicide when his artwork was not selected by the Salon. His suicide note said, "The members of the jury have rejected me. Therefore, I have no talent. I must die." Now compare Impression-Sunrise to the other paintings that the Salon said were the best of that year. Great works of art, to be sure, but their focus on subject over color causes them to all have a very similar feeling, with their indistinguishable brushstrokes and muted color palettes. Needless to say, Impression-Sunrise would have been rejected by the Salon that year. Fed up with the tyranny of the Salon, Monet, alongside other artists such as Degas and Pissarro, formed a brand new exhibition called the Société Anonyme des Artistes, Peintres, Sculpteurs, Graveurs, etc. The reception, needless to say, was not positive. Louis Leroy, an art critic writing for the satirical illustrated magazine Le Charivari, attended the exhibition and was not pleased. The article that he wrote, titled "The Exhibition of the Impressionists," follows 2 skeptics as they walk through the gallery. Upon arrival, one of the men immediately notices this painting by Renoir. Shocked, he remarks how broad and ugly the brushstrokes are. Then, the pair move on to this landscape by Pissarro, where one remarks that it seems like his glasses are dirty because the painting is so unclear and so unrefined. The article proceeds like this for several paintings, where these 2 men walk throughout the gallery and describe the horrible composition and poorly defined shapes, each time mentioning and mocking the fact that at least the paintings give an impression of what they're supposed to be. And then they come upon Impression-Sunrise, the culmination of all the terrible things they commented on. One of them says, in perhaps one of the most scathing criticisms of the whole article, a preliminary drawing for a wallpaper pattern is more finished than this seascape. Even though this article is a little dramatic, Louis Leroy's attitude reflected that of the majority of French art critics, that somehow this form of art, these paintings, were less than the ones shown in the salon. Ironically enough, however, this article is the origin of the term impressionist, meaning that it was indeed Louis himself who named this whole art movement after just this one painting. Little did he know where all of this would start. This exhibition, with the name that I can barely pronounce, marked the beginning of the end for the salon, the beginning of the end of boundaries that confined artists and forced them to participate in the more traditional art forms in order to be successful. I mean, just look at the art we have now. I can't even imagine what that one critic would say about it. All of this was possible because of the artists, including Monet in his Impression Sunrise, that weren't afraid of failure and didn't force themselves to make art that they didn't enjoy. Instead, they just followed the things that they believed in, the art that they believed in, and made their own path.